Okay, today's topic is lacrimal glands. When I talk about lacrimal gland, please don't think about lacrimal drainage system. So, what do I mean by that? Well, as far as the right eye is concerned, the lacrimal gland is located in the superotemporal part of the orbit. Superotemporal part of the orbit. Now that is all about the lacrimal gland. Whereas lacrimal drainage system is this. This is the lacrimal sac, canaliculi, which will be dealing with data. So once again, we are not discussing lacrimal drainage system here. We are thinking about lacrimal gland. So this lacrimal gland, if you cut it in a cross section, you will know that this is a bilobe structure. That means it has two lobes. The upper is the larger orbital part, and this is the palpebral. Now this is being divided into two lobes by a muscle called as levator palpebrae superior. Levator palpebrae superior. So as the name suggests, it levates the lid superiorly. So that is a muscle that helps in lifting the lid. So LPS in short divides the lacrimal gland into two lobes, the orbital and the palpebral. A question is usually asked with regard to capsule of lacrimal gland. Lacrimal gland doesn't have a definite capsule. There is a pseudo capsule around it, but there is no definite capsule. Another question usually asked is, what is its relationship with the orbital septum? We will discuss orbital septum in a later class, but relationship of the lacrimal gland with relationship to the orbital septum is it is behind the orbital septum. Another question that is usually asked is the location of the orbital lobe. It is related to the, it is divided by the lateral part of the levator palpebrae superioris. So, or lacrimal gland is located towards the lateral side of LPS. So, the word lateral relationship is important. Also, another question that's usually asked is the passage of the lacrimal ducts within the orbital lobe of the lacrimal gland. So, I'll repeat the question. This passage of the lacrimal ducts, as you call it, this starts from the orbital lobe, passes through the palpebral lobe, and then it opens into the fornix of conjunctiva. So the opening of the lacrimal ducts is important. So lacrimal ducts from the orbital lobe passes through the palpebral lobe and opens into the superior fornix of the conjunctiva. Now the next is about the innervations. Innervations of the lacrimal gland. This is a very important diagram that you should keep in mind. So as you can see, so the first thing is it is innervated by the parasympathetic system. So the mechanism by which tears flow out of the lacrimal gland is by stimulation of the parasympathetic system. Now how does that happen? The main master brain behind that is the superior salivatory nucleus. The superior salivatory nucleus gives the course of nervus intermedius, that is this nerve. It goes through the through the middle ear as the greater petrosal nerve, which is this, and it comes out. It was in the middle ear first as greater petrosal, and then it goes into the middle cranial fossa, and it goes on, forms the pterygoid plexus. Which happens in the pterygoid canal. This is actually by the meeting of greater petrosal nerve and the deep petrosal nerve forms the pterygoid plexus at the pterygoid canal, and then it leaves at the pterygopalatine fossa and the ganglion, and it releases the preganglionic fibers, which terminates here. The preganglionic fibers are terminating here, and postganglionic fibers are hitchhiking. That's a term they use, hitchhike, around the zygomaticotemporal and the lacrimal nerves. So this is how it goes and supplies the lacrimal gland. Coming to the lacrimal glands histology. These are actually tubuloacinar glands, and these acinar cells are interspersed between the myoepithelial cells Now these acinar cells produce serous secretion along with that. The characteristics of the cell is they are basally located nuclei, and these cells are rich in rough endoplasmic reticulum plus Golgi apparatus and mitochondria. Now there is a basement membrane which separates these cells from the myoepithelial cells. Now the ducts which supply into the fornix of the conjunctiva. Now these ducts, there are two types, that is large ducts and smaller ducts. Now the larger ducts they are lined by two-layered epithelial lining and the smaller ducts they are lined by a single layer of cuboidal cells. Both of them are surrounded by myoepithelial cells. Which are muscular layers, and they have contractile properties. So before I conclude, the question to be asked is, lacrimal gland lies within a definite capsule. Is it true or false? Also, from the previous topic, all air sinuses except the ethmoidal sinus are normally present at birth. Is it true or false? Another question is, the preganglionic fibers to the lacrimal glands synapse in the ciliary ganglion. True or false? And finally, acinar cells have apically located nucleus.